Notion got even better in 2024, and so I have updated my ADHD Life OS to include charts and to integrate the knowledge that I have gained using Notion and understanding my own brain. So hopefully it can help you too. Let's go ahead and take a tour of the 2025 ADHD Life OS. And if you stick around till the end or look in the comments, there is a coupon code for 25% off of all of my Notion templates available on the Notion website. I'm super excited to be an official Notion Marketplace creator now. And let's dive into this template. When you first duplicate this into your own workspace, you can go look at the tutorial. It tells you how to do all of the things that you can possibly imagine doing in here. And we're going to go through the homepage with our menu in the order that I recommend setting up. And that means starting with projects. While on the dashboard here, we do have a place of priority projects. I'm going to go into the projects database first because this is only showing us the projects that are important, that have a deadline, that are urgent, all of the things that make them a priority. But we actually have a couple of options here in the projects. So if I go to create a new project, let's just say that it's make a YouTube video. I can then open this up, choose the project template. I can decide if it is a priority or a side quest. Now, if I have a full day job and I need to focus on that, then perhaps YouTube is a side quest, which would mean that even if this is due next week, it's not actually going to show up on the homepage because it is not a priority project. If you do have a priority project like this, some kind of jargon for business, you can put it here, use the project template, and it will automatically assign it the tag of priority. Let's say that that is due tomorrow because ADHD and I forgot to add it to my list. Then you can go through and look at starting your project. This is, I think, one of the benefits of my templates is that I've gone through with my own neurodivergence, with my own understanding of how I can get things done and what I need to do to make something a focus, as well as my background in writing, my background in editing, and coaching people with getting projects done. I have come up with this list of questions that I think is really, really useful when you're starting a project to understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what you're not doing. What the project is not is one of the things that I find really important for me, because if I'm writing a novel, I need to understand that the first step is getting the words onto the page. It is not making the best metaphors. It is not copy editing. That doesn't happen yet. And it's important to me to separate that project into those different steps. And then again, because I wanted to create a version of the para method, a version of the second brain. If you don't know Tiago Forte's work, it's awesome. It's literally changed my life. I highly recommend it. But I wanted to do one that works specifically with ADHD, which means looking at captivate, create, compete, and complete, and brainstorming ways in advance of how those can happen. So this is the project template for any new project that you start. I recommend taking the 15 minutes it takes to work through and figuring out why it is you're doing what you're doing and what it is that you're doing. Then if you wanted to, directly from here, you can add tasks that are connected to the project, or you can go over to this week to add tasks for this week. They will automatically assign themselves to today if you do this, or you can go down to the bottom and into your tasks database. Sometimes I like to do this when I just have a lot going on. I like to go into just my tasks database and create a bunch of new tasks and then sort them into their projects and their deadlines once I've created them. All you have to do to create a new one is click on new page and then edit video is going to belong to the YouTube project. I need to do that, let's say next Wednesday. And now I have a new, actually, just for the sake of this video, let's make it Friday so that we can see it on our homepage now. You can see that I have 3 total tasks here that are listed as to do because they are assigned to this week. This is set to next week. That's interesting. There we go. That's better. And then if I do end up finishing one of these, like editing the video, I can change this to done and complete. And you can see that this pie chart now has updated and you can watch it fill green as your week continues, which for me is one of the most motivating things, is watching circles fill up, checking boxes. I don't know why it works so well for me, but it does. Over here, this is set up as a chart that shows you when you've completed projects. I put this in because for me, if I finish something, I forget that it exists entirely. And I like to look back and be like, oh no, I have actually been doing work. I've been making progress. Look, I finished a project this week. I'm going to finish another project today or something. And now it's showing another project complete. That is just really helpful for me to visualize that I am making progress, because I have so much out of sight, out of mind. It never happened once I finish a project. It's just this sense of relief rather than a sense of joy. So this is what we have when it comes to projects and tasks. Those are all I have linked. I didn't add areas. I didn't add resources. I didn't add an archive, because I think that making something as simple as possible while still giving you the data that you need is important. I have a question that I ask myself for work, which is, what is the smallest possible unit that I can think of that is so small that I can't imagine not doing it? That could be make a new task or something. If I overcomplicate my systems, then I'm not going to use them. I'll enjoy building them, but I won't use them. I can build a complicated system in Notion, but I won't use a complicated system in Notion. So I wanted to make this as useful as possible and as streamlined as possible. Now, when it comes to like day to day and month to month, I have a monthly plan. This one I've already made for January, that's showing all of the tasks that we have to do this month and completed this month. They're in different forms. This one's a Kanban board separated by project. This one's a list. You're welcome to update this by changing the layout to a list or a board table or a board, whatever suits your brain. Then after the task list, I have it set up so you can set up everything you have to do and then come in and do your monthly planning. Where do I want to focus my energy this month? What known obstacles will I have in prioritizing this way? Define a bare minimum win for the month, priority one, if everything falls apart. This has been a game changer for me with my own productivity. And then finally, a rock star month. What will your month look like if everything goes right and your energy levels and focus align? This also, I feel like, has been interesting, because since I started implementing these questions, I've had rock star months more often than I haven't. And I'm not sure I would have recognized that without having listed in advance. Look, I would be so impressed with myself if I did all these things. And then being able to look back and being like, oh, I'm capable of doing all of those things. It just feels like a lot at the outset. Then I have the projects separated from the tasks. So we have projects due this month, projects done this month. And then we have tasks completed by project, which will show you the tasks completed in, right now, a pie chart with the number separated by the task. So half of my task was YouTube video, half was example project, two total is how this one works. So that is my monthly setup. It takes me about 10-15 minutes to do at the beginning and then the end of the month. I highly recommend taking the time to think through your month before it happens and then have that data to look back on, because that paper trail, so to speak, is so important for a brain that works like mine does, at least. And then every day you can click on Start My Day on the homepage or on New in the daily, and it will create this plan with this template that tells you the automatic tasks that show up as yesterday and today. This way you can be sure if, this one is listed as yesterday, I can switch it to today. The next 4 questions are, again, a journal prompt. What are your most important tasks? 1 to 3 of them that you need to focus on. Side quests, I like to use this if there's something on my mind that I would rather be working on than my main tasks. I write it down, partially to get it on paper so I don't forget it, and then sometimes that's enough to focus me on the most important things. But also, if my attention goes there instead, at least I know that it was an intention of mine at the start of the day on some level. roadblocks, anything that could get in the way, a doctor's appointment, a kid homesick, if I have a headache, if I didn't sleep well, all of that counts as a roadblock. But I don't want to end on a bad note, so then I remind myself what I'm grateful for. And then this is new for me with my 2025 Life OS. I wanted to find a way to track habits that, again, would be simple with a really low barrier to entry. So I would go through when I get this and I would select all of these and delete them, go through, edit habit 1. This goal is automatically set for a goal of 7 per week. So let's say that that's drinking 64 ounces of water because that's something I should do every day. Do I? No. Should I? Yes. So then I can add that one. And then moving forward, it's going to automatically repeat every Sunday. So it's just the first week that you need to make your own. And then let's say that habit 2 that I want to do 4 days a week is yoga with Adrian because Adrian's lovely. And then I'm going to add that for this week. You can do the same with the other 2 goals. The thing that I really like about this percent complete is it's based on that number of goal right here where it says goal per week 7 or goal per week 4 for yoga with Adrian. Let's say that I did this Monday and Tuesday and I haven't yet done it. I did it Monday and I didn't do it yet today. It's showing 29% complete. But if I did it Sunday and Tuesday for yoga, it's 50% complete because it's based on how often you're wanting to do it. And I like setting this up on a weekly basis rather than as a daily basis, because if you're wanting to do something 4 days a week and you don't do it Sunday through Tuesday, and you had originally said, I want to do it every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, you might feel like it's not worth it. But if you get to Wednesday, you can still hit 4 days a week. And so I find it's better to help me not fail in my own tasks when I set this up on a weekly basis. Then this automatically shows tasks at the end of the day. And then again, there's just some journaling, what you accomplished on and off of your to-do list, because sometimes I don't know about you, but I'll get distracted. I'll do another task, but I'll forget to write down that that was what I was working on. So I have this here. If I do accomplish something, I can write it down somewhere. What I wish I'd done differently if I had a bad day, what's next, and anything else on my mind so I can just brain dump before my day is over and close that out. So this is where the kind of magic happens for every single day. And then let's look at the weekly habits here, because it's showing the same view separated by week. And then we also have, let's get this back into the same check marks. This showing our percentage. I don't love it yet because it adds up the total percent. So if I have 2 habits, I did it 100%, it tells me 200%. But when I hover over it, it tells me the actual percent complete. And I like being able to see these change over time. Again, visual progress means so much to me. And while we're here, let's look at one of the final things that I think is really useful in this is Gamify Me. This is something that I've used for myself and my children often if I'm stuck. It is as many of the ADHD hacks that I can think of for actually tricking myself into working. So that is my Life OS. Again, I feel like it is simple, but hopefully still really powerful in getting you the results that you want while being able to track what you need to and not feel overwhelmed by having to track anything that you don't feel like tracking. And if you want 25% off of not only this template, but all of the ones that I've created on my Notion Marketplace, use the code HWYT25, Hyperfocus Workshop YouTube 25, for 25% off of all of my templates. And I look forward to seeing you soon.